Chris, you've done all sorts of documentaries into railways
really harrowing.
around the world.
The thing is, you know, everybody knows a lot about it, but when you actually get down to the detail and you're talking to survivors, it's like, what?
And
that
hearing their
happened?
stories firsthand, I mean, it must.
It was going to be originally just part of the normal railway series for this year. And when we got into it, I actually rang the boss, Ben, at Channel 5, and I said, look, this is such a massive thing. We've got survivors here doing, you know, testaments that probably they will not be around for many more years, bless them. So he said, no, we'll do an hour-and-a-half special purely about the Holocaust. It's a brilliant film in many ways. And the guy, Eric, who's a wonderful man, who now lives in Leeds.
So you meet in the documentary?
Yeah, he's 90 now. See, that's one of the things. They're 90. I mean, having gone through what they went through, you know, the malnutrition, the beatings, the, you know, everything, how can you still be alive and fit? I mean, he went into Auschwitz when he was 14. And as he got off, he thought, this is wrong. When the left-hand queue here, with children, mothers with babies, old people, men and women, whatever, and he thought, the other queue, the right-hand queue, looked quite fit and people who were sort of, you know, ready to do a bit of work. And he thought, I shouldn't be in this queue. And actually, there was a big fuss went on with a woman screaming, telling the guards not to take her baby off her. And he switched queues and he went to the right-hand queue. He was only 14. He's quite slight as well. He's quite a little boy, you know, even at 14. And they said, how old are you? This is Mengele. He said, how old are you? And he said, 17, nearly 18. He said, what can you do? What's your trade? And he went, I'm a tailor. And I said to him, he went back to Auschwitz. He's the only one of the survivors we interviewed who would go back to Auschwitz and talk to us there. I mean, he saw so many horrors. And he said, I'm a tailor. I said, could you do any tailoring? He said, no, none, I couldn't sew a button on. Amazing guy. And then there was a death march after they came out of Auschwitz. They tried to march him to death. I mean, he should not be alive, this guy. He's a wonderful guy, and he's still fit and hearty. He came back to Auschwitz. He talked to us about the gas chamber. He talked to us about everything, showed us the bunk. Well, they tend to a bunk, but sometimes during the night people would actually die. He said he saw so many bodies in his life.
And how did it feel for you? Because, you know, it's a different perspective, isn't it, when you're going back and you're retracing the steps and actually, you know, imagining what would have been happening around you at the time.
I went into a gas chamber. He would not come into the gas chamber, you know, which I understand totally. And just me and Paul, the cameraman director, went into the gas chamber and we didn't speak. And it was just... Because if you didn't know, it's just like a big lock-up. And then you go in and there are the shower caps, you know, that stuff. They said, leave your clothes here and you'll be back and all that. And then you go through to the main room. There's a furnace on the left, which is the crematorium bit. And you go into this area and you can see the two big holes in the ceiling where these guys with gas masks would drop in the gas. The thing that really upset me and really hit me hard was how high the scratches are on the wall. Because I'm a big bloke, I'm 6'2", and I'm thinking, how... But what it was people clambering, screaming over bodies to try and desperately get some air. You can imagine what it'd been like.
So traumatic.
And I came out feeling real, I thought it was going to be sick.
I mean, you've done all sorts of things, Chris, in your career. You've been all over the world, investigated all sorts of things.
I found it really hard.
How will this live with you, this...
I did have nightmares. I don't have nightmares. I don't dream much. And I really did have nightmares for a few days coming home. Eric had nightmares for 30 years. 30 years. I mean, he's still only 17 when he came out. Somehow the whole war was over.
Yeah.
When he met his wife, who's lovely, who lives up in Yorkshire, the two of them now live in Leeds quite happily, they were married for 12 years before he actually told her I was in Auschwitz. He just, even though he had the tattoo on his arm, he could not bring himself to tell her.
And he didn't want to share that part of his life with her?
It was too painful. He didn't want to dig it up again. Eventually she said, come on, what's that? He said, well, I just began...
It's quite a departure from the other stuff that we see you do, Chris.
I know.
Something that is so emotionally...
I think it started as a fairly straightforward railway programme. I did not realise how huge a part the railways had in the Holocaust, because without the railways he could never have done it. Hitler could never have made it work. They were bringing Jews and homosexuals and gypsies and political prisoners from all over Europe, from Greece, from Italy, from everywhere. You know, so the railways were essential to it.
You've cut down dramatically the work that you're doing since you were ill.
Yes, because I used to work like a dog.
You did, you worked
very hard.
It's
your turn now. I used to get up early, every day.
Don't do
Good
that.
to see you looking well.
I feel well, I feel fine.
How are you feeling?
Really well.
No, I
you
feel
look
fine.
Yeah. And but interesting, talk about working early, because of course you used to do the radio shows first thing in the morning.
Just for 17 years.
The other day, I was interviewed on Radio X by young Toby Tarrant.
Really?
Has he not dragged you into the studio? And have you given him some grief?
No, because they do all this stupid ho, ha, ha, tea, and all that stuff. This is my own son doing an impression of his dad.
Oh. Do you give him any advice then?
Yeah, so find a proper job.
Yeah, too right.
Go back to teaching. That's what I got for about 20 years. I was going, you can always go back to teaching, dear, after Tiswas.
But actually, you did all sorts of jobs. I love... Well, didn't you write a letter to a production company or something? That was what started off your...
Dear
TV
sir, stroke madam, this is your chance to snap me up. I am the face of the 70s.
And they
Can you
went
believe
for it.
I wrote that?
The face of the 70s.
Oh.
You still have the face of the 70s.
still have the face of the 70s.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? One thing we do share in common, I don't know if you've ever talked about this, but we both went to the same university, and you did drama at Birmingham.
Yes.
Yeah. Although, did you turn down an Oxbridge opportunity. You
Yes.
didn't go and you went to Birmingham instead.
Yes.
What was their reaction to you at Birmingham? How did you get on there?
Well, I didn't turn up much. I was just fishing and drinking, really.
Standard.
3 years.
So a bit like you.
Very similar in many ways. And look at us now.
I know. We could have had a proper job, couldn't we? We worked harder.
Chris, it's lovely to see
My
you.
pleasure.
Glad that you're looking so well.
I feel good.
And it sounds like a fascinating documentary as well.
I mean, it's so poignant, isn't it? What an incredible thing for you to have done, actually, to
I'm
highlight
kind of
this for
proud
people
of it,
and to
but
talk about all the
it was
stories.
tough.
Yeah, I bet.
It's really tough. I'm glad I did it.